Greetings gamers, my name is Retro Dave and welcome back to another Retro Dave's Retro Vlogs. Now, today I am going to be testing something out. So I've got this tool. I managed to finally get it off eBay for taking apart Nintendo consoles. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, just having a look inside, cleaning out my SNES and my N64 for a bit of fun. So here's my setup. We're all very familiar with it by now. There I'm uploading a video at the moment and some of my games. Now I'm going to take my SNES, plug some of these sockets. That's just that left. What have we got here? Right. So the thing about Nintendo SNES onwards is they started using, if it'll focus, they started using these bolts with a special head that can only be used with a special tool. If I zoom in on the special tool, it's a strange shape, and that means that only this tool can be used, so only a specialist can fix games, and otherwise loss of warranties, such and such, so on and so on. But now that I've got one, I can start taking it apart and having a look. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I don't have my usual workbench at the moment because it's been stolen by one of my brothers, but I will be using this box for now. So here's the SNES. Let's have a look. It needs a good clean up, so I might grab some of my cleaning tools once I'm done taking apart and having a look inside. But let's have a look underneath. Yeah, definitely needs a bit of a clean. How many screws then? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in total. Okay, let's get on with that. Okay, so I've just taken the SNES apart and I've discovered problems. The outer casing, the plastic on the outer casing has deteriorated quite significantly more than I expected. I'd always known that there was this break in the top corner, but I didn't know the extent to which it travelled on the inside. Looks like the plastic has actually failed all the way through. There's a crack, and also just here I think there's been some kind of high impact at some stage which has caused these pieces to crack off. So when I went to deattach them, unscrew them, they came right off without working. The others, there's one more that's also done that. I think there's been a high impact. The bottom casing is fine. It's very dirty inside, so I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up with my brush. And then what I'm going to do, I'm glad I did this actually to find out just how poorly the plastic has deteriorated. I'm now going to go on eBay and see whether I can buy a spare casing, maybe parts, spares and repairs, or just, I don't know. So you can get custom made ones as well. I'm just going to clear off some of this crap. Now, I'm actually out of compressed air at the moment, otherwise I would be using compressed air for this. I'm not going to do anything else to this now. I'm just going to continue to clean this up and put it back together. I'm glad I did this though, because now I'm going to go and find a new outer casing for this, because this one is clearly quite heavily damaged, as you can see there. Okay, so it's back together again. I've cleaned it out just a little bit and found out that there's something seriously wrong with the top. So I'm going to look into what I can do to replace this top unit. Maybe all I need to do is replace the main part. I don't need to replace all of these. I'm sure there's a way of taking this all apart. Okay, here we are with my N64. There it is. So now I'm just going to have a look. It actually looks in a lot better condition than my SNES, but that's because the discoloration doesn't really show. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, 6 screws that I need to remove. I'll have a look inside, clean it up and put it back together again. and hopefully this one will be slightly less damaged than the SNES. There isn't any noticeable damage on the outside. It does need a bit of a clean up though. There's a few marks and scrapes. Nothing too bad, only aesthetic stuff. So I've taken out all of the screws and these feet came off. So I'll put those back on. Let's see what's inside this baby. I'll just flip it over. So I'm assuming that the top will just come off. Nope. What have I forgotten to do? Yep, there we go. Now that looks alright. That's got, hey, that's why I forgot. That's got one of these in. Now what I should have done is remove this before I started. Oh well. You live and learn, that's how you learn. Good thing it didn't damage anything, so that's okay. Right, wow, okay, so I can't actually access the circuit board because it's got this guard, metal guard in the way with all those screws. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go and look at it because this guard has probably protected it from dust anyway, so I'm just going to... It doesn't actually look so bad. That's cool. Happy with that. I'm just going to clean around this area because it's a bit dirty there and put it back together again. Ooh, there's a bit of grub in there. Okay, so that's my N64 put back together. What have I learnt? I've learnt that my N64 actually is in remarkably good condition, which I'm sure most N64s stand the test of time. I've also learnt that when taking apart an N64, remove the memory expansion pack first. Just makes it a lot easier. I've also learnt that my SNES is actually much more damaged than I thought it was before, but it's only the top case, which can actually be happily replaced. I've got that set back up over here. It still works fine at the moment, so it's not an absolute urgent thing, but I will eventually replace it. I'll just go back and grab my tool. Thank you. Thanks to this tool, I've been able to take apart some of my computers and some more of my computers and have a look inside, and I've now learnt the full extent of the damage to my SNES. Hey, so it's a few days later. I'm back in my room. I've just got Charlie here playing the SNES. He's playing some Prince of Persia. Love that game. Only about 2/3 of the way through it at the moment, but that's my setup. So I wanted to make this video, or extend this video, because a few days after I got my tools to take apart consoles, the tool that I ordered for taking apart games themselves, Nintendo games, turned up. And I've already taken apart and put back together a few just to look at them, just to see what they're like. They literally are just a circuit board in a box. So I have a working copy of Illusion of Time here. I don't know whether you can see, but there is a flaw with it. It's got more than just a scratch. It's hard to see from here, but the plastic is actually broken here, cracked and overlapping. It's overlapping itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my new tool and take out these two screws, take it apart, so that I've just got this front casing, and then I'm going to try and prise the two bits back into shape so that it's just a crack and not like an overlapping thing. The circuit board inside is fine, it's not affected by this crack. Okay, so I've taken out the screws, and I must say that was remarkably easier than taking apart the SNES. I think as we discussed already, the plastic on the SNES has deteriorated, and I've been looking at replacement shells for it. But there we go. That's that taken off, and there's the circuit board there. It's just upside down at the moment. My hands are a bit sticky, but I should be alright if I just hold it on the sides here. There we go. It's got a battery for memory. It's got quite a few chips. My camera again is not focusing. Focus camera. There we go. Focused. You can see the circuit board there. lots of chips. Very interesting. Right, I'm going to put this back. Now, what's the important thing is not this, so we're going to just put this to one side, but this. I now am going to have a look. So there's the crack. Just there, you see it's overlapping. There's a bit of shadow on it. I'm going to see if I can prise this back into shape. I can't really do it with my fingers. I'm going to have to apply quite a lot of force to it, but then I'll put it back together afterwards. I've just finished sorting it out. I've just applied pressure to the back, and it has very tightly sealed. See, now you can't even see the crack, or almost can't. You can just see it in the light. Let me focus camera. You can see it just there in the light. I've forced it back down. There's no overlap anymore. And on the front, there's still the damage to the label, but at least the plastic is too now. So aesthetically, I'm happier with it. The reason I bought this game was to own a working copy of Illusion of Time. I wanted to play it for a long time, but the cartridges are going for £40–45 online. This one I got for, I think, 22 because of the damage, and it's just aesthetic. The game still works fine. It's in perfect nick. So there we go. I'm gonna put this back together and put the screws back on it. Maybe give it a bit of a clean, and then I'll show you it back slotted back together. Okay, so let's just grab it now. I've screwed it back together. The game itself, the SNES games themselves are really quite easy to unscrew and screw up once you've got the tool. I'm very happy with the tool. It's quite sturdy. It looks like it's going to last me a long time. I've gotten Charlie to stop playing the SNES for a bit. We're going to slot it in here, slot in our game, just to show that it's working. There we go. Working copy of, you see, Nintendo presents working copy of Illusion of Time in my SNES. You can see my TV there is actually pretty awful. It's quite small. I am investing in a large TV. Eventually I'll be putting it up there at the same time as I get a PS4, but for now I've got all my retro games out. I'm showing Charlie some of them, and we'll have a little bang on new game of mine. I haven't actually played this yet, so I don't know what to expect. But thanks everyone for watching. If you like what you see, leave a like, maybe hit subscribe to see some of the other stuff that I do. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.